Namaste. Sage Krishna Dwaipayan divided the Vedas into four parts. These four Vedas have been well known as Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharvaveda. He taught it to his four chief disciples, Rigveda to Paila, Yajurveda to Vaishampayana, Samveda to Jaimini, and Atharvaveda to Sumani. The Atharvaveda is the knowledge storehouse of Atharvans, the procedures for everyday life. According to the etymology of the Nirukta, Atharvan is the name given to a stable-minded person who is immovably formed, that is, a yogi. The oldest name, however, by which this Veda is known in Indian literature is Atharvaveda Veda, that is, the Veda of the Atharvans and the Angiras. Angiras too were a group of schools and priests. The Atharvaveda has been called by several other names, Bhrigvangirasa or Bhrigvavistara. Sage Bhrigvu also revealed various themes of this Veda, so this Veda was also named as Bhrigvangirasa or Bhrigvavistara. Brahmaveda. The title Brahmaveda is related to the priest Brahma, the fourth of the four priests of the group. The other three are Hota for Rigveda, Advaryu for Yajurveda, and Udgata for Samveda, Veda. This name has been derived from the subject matter of the Veda, which contains material on Bhaisachya, that is medicines and treatment. Akshatra Veda. This name originates from the matter revealed in the Veda, which contains information about the Akshatra. Akshatra is the warrior class known as Akshatriyas. The ancient Indian tradition initially recognized only three Vedas known as Trai, Veda Trai. The acceptance of the Atharvans was slow and it was accepted as another Veda much later than the first three. The ultimate acceptance of Atharvaveda as the fourth Veda probably came in the second half of the first millennium BCE. However, the hymns of Atharvaveda existed by the time Chandogya Upanishad was completed around 700 BCE, but were then referred as to hymns of Atharva Angirasa. The dating of Atharvaveda is derived from the new metals and items mentioned therein. For example, mentions iron known as Krishna Ayas, literally meaning black metal. And such mentions have led to the estimate that the Atharvaveda hymns were compiled in the early Iron Age at or slightly after around 1200 to 1000 BCE, corresponding to the early Kuru kingdom. According to Patanjali, Atharvaveda had 9 recensions or shakhas, but the Samhita of the Atharvaveda is today available only in 2 recensions, the Shaunak and the Pipalak. It is the Shaunak Samhita that is frequently meant when the Atharvaveda is mentioned in ancient and modern literature. This Veda is divided into 4 Prapatakas, divided into 18 books or kandas, and the last 2 were added later. It was earlier 18 and then 2 and it became 20. And each kanda is again subdivided into suktas and these suktas into mantras. It is a collection of 730 hymns containing 5,987 mantras, and some 1200 verses are derived from the Rig Veda. Reliable manuscripts of the Pipalada edition were believed to have been lost, but a well-preserved version was discovered among a collection of palm leaf manuscripts in Odisha in 1957. The Pipalada edition is more ancient. Along with Samhita layer of text, the Atharvaveda includes a Brahman text, 3 primary Upanishads also. And the 3 primary Upanishads attached to Atharvaveda Mundak Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad and the Prashna Upanishad. The Mundak Upanishad, embedded inside Atharvaveda, is a poetic style Upanishad with 64 verses written in the form of mantras. So the Mundak Upanishad is referred to as one of the mantra Upanishads. The Mundak Upanishad is one of the texts that discuss the pantheism theory in Hindu scriptures. The text, like other Upanishads, also discusses ethics. It says that through continuous pursuit of satya, that is truthfulness, and tap, that is perseverance or austerity, and samyak jnana, that is correct knowledge, and brahmacharya, one attains atman, that is self and soul. The Mandukya Upanishad is the shortest of all the Upanishads found in the Atharvaveda. The text discusses the syllable Om, presents the theory of 4 states of consciousness, asserts the existence and nature of Atman, that is soul, self. The Mandukya Upanishad is among the often cited texts of chronology and philosophical relationship between Hinduism and Buddhism. The Prashna Upanishad is from the Pimpalan school of Atharvavedians. The text contains, Prashna is a question. So the text contains 6 questions and each is a chapter with a discussion of answers. The first 3 questions are profound metaphysical questions. The 4th section, in contrast, contains substantial philosophy. The last 2 sections discuss the symbol Om and moksha concept. The Atharvaveda includes one Brahman, that is Gopat Brahman. The roots of Ayurveda, a traditional medical and healthcare practice in India, are in Hindu texts of Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, both of which claim that allegiance and inspiration to be the Vedas. The Atharvaveda includes Gopat Brahman text that goes with Atharva Samhita. The roots of Ayurveda, a traditional medical and healthcare practice in India, are in Hindu texts of Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, both of which claim their allegiance and inspiration to be the Vedas, especially the Atharvaveda. The Atharvaveda is looked upon as the Veda of varied knowledge. It contains numerous mantras which, according to their subject matter, can be broadly divided into 3 categories. 1. Related to the cure of diseases and destruction of adverse forces. 2. Related to establish peace, protection, health, wealth, friendship, and long life. 3rd, related to the nature of supreme reality, time, death, and immortality. However, there are 8 topics that are covered. These are Bhaisajya, that is for disease, their cures, and their causes. Ayushya, that is for supplications for longevity. Aushtik is for worldly progress and welfare. Abhicharika is to destroy or harm enemies who obstruct progress. Prayashchit is for expiatory rites. Rajkarma is introducing the political system. Brahmanya, that is the nature of Brahma, the absolute. The Bhaisajya Suktas deal with diseases, their causes and cures, show a remarkable insight into the subject of health sciences. That is why this Veda is considered to be the precursor of Ayurveda or the science of health and longevity. Sometimes Ayurveda is listed as an Upveda or subsidiary of Atharvaveda. Several diseases like fever, leprosy, jaundice, diabetes, skin disorders, trouble of the ear, nose and throat, fracture of bones, diseases of heart are mentioned with their respective cures. Apart from medicines and physical remedies, use of chants and charms was also in plenty. The Ayush Sutta contains supplications for longevity. They are to be uttered on auspicious occasions like Upanayan. Upanayan is for investiture with the sacred thread, or Godan, gifting of the cows, and so on. The desire to live the full span of life, that is approximately 100 years, is often expressed. One of the suttas indicates to wear a Raksha Sutra, that is the thread of protection on the body, to attain longevity. Abhicharika suttas suggest destruction of one's enemies, including the lovers of one's spouse, annihilation of evil spirits, mesmerizing others through whom one can get one's desires fulfilled, are some of the topics dealt with in these suttas. The word Krishnendrajal is sometimes used to indicate the type of black magic rites depicted here. Rajkarma Suktas gives an account of the political system during those days. The king was elected by the people. National and social problems were discussed by or decided in a samiti, a parliament of the people. The Raj Purohit, that is the chief priest of the state, had an enviable place in the affairs of the state. Prayers for victory in war and hymns expressing devotion to the motherland given here are highly poetic and moving. A very famous verse from Atharvaveda, which we all have heard, is Mata Bhumi Putro Aham Prathivya. ये धरती हमारी माता है और हम इसके पुत्र हैं. Earth is our mother and we are her child. This is a famous line from Atharvaveda which each Indian has somewhere heard or read or recited. Rig Veda is the Veda of knowledge. Yajurveda is the Veda of karma. Samaveda is the Veda of bhakti, and Atharvaveda is Brahmaveda, and umbrella celebrating the divine presence to the disciple in his ear. If you want to know more about Vedas, please check the entire playlist, The Vedic Literature, in which you can find the detailed discussion on all the Vedas, Vedangas, and all things related to the Vedas. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.